Let's get into the next story. The next story I want to touch on is about Tim Sugazi. Tim Sugazi came out and he was speaking about sponsorship. He mentioned that after everything TS Galaxy has done, by now they should have a corporate sponsor. They should have somebody who's coming in to sponsor the team and help shoulder some of that financial burden that Tim Sugazi goes through. Let me start off by saying, what does it mean to deserve sponsorship? What does it mean to be a team that corporate wants to get in on? Because there's a lot of conversation about corporate and how corporate doesn't want to support our teams, our football and all of that stuff, doesn't want to jump in. And fine, I believe that there is an element of corporate looking like certain people. So they don't understand our plight. They don't understand what happens with the majority of people that watch South African football. I don't want to use another term because I don't want to take it there. But there is an element of that. But my question becomes, what are you offering? What is a sponsor going to get in return for them jumping in and pushing your team? What have you done to make sure that your team is sponsor friendly? Because for me, a lot of the teams in the PSL, all they can offer sponsors is things that are external to the team. I'll give you an example. By virtue of TS Galaxy being in the PSL, they're on Supersport. Sorry, my TV is right in front of me. They're on Supersport. So when they go to sponsors, they say, we're going to give you visibility. We're on Supersport. What does that mean for a sponsor? What do they get back? Now, if you look at a team like Kaizer Chiefs, say what you will about Kaizer Chiefs, people say they're stealing sponsors and all of that stuff and it's unfair. But they've put themselves into a place where they can at the very least offer a sponsor an audience. Do you know why Kaizer Chiefs arrives 2 days early for their away games and they started a voter shop? Do you know why they have Instagram lives and all of that? It's because they can sell that and say to a sponsor, hey man, we've got X amount of fans. And from these X amount of fans, we get engagement from, let's say, 20% of them. And that's enough to sell out your jerseys. That's enough to do all of that. That's enough when we come through to shine a light on whatever you're doing. That voter shop pops for that day. I'm sure I'm a SIM card where Chiefs go very quickly because of that action. They can offer you that. And note how it's got nothing to do with success. It's got nothing to do with the size of team, because a team the size of Kaizer Chiefs could just sit down. Now, Muches, when kids get launched, there's no way where you don't see her. Radio, TV, news, that, what, delivering to every radio presenter, doing this, doing that. There's no stone unturned because they understand that as part of our return to the sponsor, Kappa comes in and says, hey, we want to sponsor you guys. They can say, okay, Kappa, after year one, we sold out your jersey in X amount of time. That is return. Let's look at the rest of the clubs. How many clubs can offer some sort of return? Forget about nationwide. What about in your area? How many people are TS Galaxy fans? You see a TS Galaxy thing, TS Galaxy jersey walking around, and maybe guys in the comments could correct me, but I'm sure even if you go to Mbombela right now, they don't have the visibility of that. I can't even give a sponsor a captive audience and say, Kiba. We may not be popping in Gauteng, mara in Mbombela, there's no way you can go without this, and we can offer you that. sorry to interrupt the video that I'm sure you're enjoying. But I just wanted to say thank you for all of the support that you guys have shown me and my Overthinking Football platform. I'm a one-man band that's doing all of this, and I really do enjoy the comments about how, you know, Supersport needs to come fetch me and SABC and all of that stuff. And I think it speaks to the quality of the content, but also the amount of effort that I put in. So I just wanted to say thank you. But the truth is that Abu Supersport and all of those guys, yes, we're competing with them, but it's a completely different place. The sponsors are looking for former players, and to be honest with you, running some of these things is getting so difficult, and things have changed at home. So financially, it's a whole different world. So I wanted to try something new and come to the overthinkers, the people who watch the content, and say it would be incredible if you guys could contribute monthly towards the platform, towards keeping my lights on, but also making sure that all of the crazy things that I want to do, that I want to take Supersport on with, I can actually do. And just for 20 Rand every month, I think that would be an incredible contribution if you can make it. It may sound like a little, but if we can get a lot of people behind it, then we'll be able to carry on doing what I do. I'll be able to carry on giving you the content and also expanding it, because we don't have shows like this, and us content creators need help from our audiences. So I just came here to ask you if you can. Here is the account number that you guys can use in order to contribute. And I think, yeah, I'd be very grateful if you would. But anyway, let's get back to the video. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. How much work do they do to go out in communities and create bonds with fans and all of that type of stuff? Attracting sponsors is hard. Doing the commercial work is hard. Ask Mamelodi Sundowns. Pound for pound, the most successful team right now in this last, let's say, last 15 years. They've won the most leagues, but stadiums aren't full. I don't know what the sales of the kit looks like. Ask how hard it is. The point I'm trying to make is that you have to offer something. And before we look at the other sports, look at what they're doing. Before we complain about other sports, look at what they're doing. Do you think Bok Friday is just a fun thing? You think it's just done so that we can all feel pride? It's a marketing ploy. Because they understand that for Bok Friday, we all need to have Bok jerseys or Bok shirts and whatever. So now the Springbok people go to wherever, Pick n Pay, and say, okay guys, we've got commercial. I will give you a commercial license for you to make Springboks clothes. Pick n Pay will say, why? And they'll say, okay, every Friday when these guys are about to play, we're going to sell out this whole thing. Nike, Springbok jerseys and things like that, it's fine, don't worry. And you know what's even crazier? It even shows you that you don't need everyone. I think there's also a misconception that you need everyone to be a TS Galaxy fan for you to get sponsorship. But you just need to be able to concentrate it. For me, there shouldn't be anybody in Bombela, for example, as an example. Any business, any whatever. Utim Sugazi should have taken some money and said, okay guys, we're going to blitz everyone. There's not a barbershop, there's not a king, there's not a chisanyama, there's not a anything that will not have somewhere TS Galaxy. Now you've created the type of value that makes it normal, probable. It makes it make sense for a team to come in, for a sponsor to come in and sponsor your team. But if you're not doing those things, you can't go and complain. Guys, a lot of what I say here is the sports that we love and we consume and we speak about and all of that stuff, we don't watch like that. We all watch the Springboks in 1 or 2 games. We don't care about their season. We don't even care about the club teams. So what is driving us wanting that? The English Premiership. Even if you're a diehard fan, you don't watch Brighton games. You don't watch some of the bottom teams' games. You don't care for them. Crystal Palace. Do you care for Crystal Palace? But what is your idea of the league, of the teams? There's people right now who believe that Mamelodi Sundowns wouldn't be able to make it in the English Prem. But they're not looking at the clubs at the bottom that struggle, that have bad players, that are surviving on the skin of their teeth. You know, there's a club that side that's sponsored by Ipswich. Ipswich Town is sponsored by Ed Sheeran. Only because, you know, he's a hometown boy. He grew up with it. He's got some money. An artist is sponsoring a team to show you how hard it is for them as well, that side. So I think we have so many surface level conversations about sponsorship and commercial and all of that stuff. We really need to delve deeper into those things. And maybe our teams actually have to show us some of the financials, some of the things that they're doing, some of the initiatives and all of that stuff, and break it down for us. Instead of coming out and wanting support or wanting us to feel sorry for you. Go and do the work.